Developing right now in the Bay Area, part of Highway 1 is shut down after the scenic roadway collapsed. It happened Saturday near Big Sur. Now, that was when the rain was at the heaviest, and you can see exactly what happened here. It's just a mess.
On January 14th, 2026, a 90-mile, 145-kilometre section of California's Highway 1 through Big Sur fully reopened 3 months ahead of schedule after what appears to be the road's longest shutdown in its 90-year history. The closure had lasted more than 3 years, beginning January 15, 2023, and the economic damage it delivered was not measured in inconvenience. It was measured in hundreds of millions of dollars. Beacon Economics conducted a formal analysis finding the closure cost the region roughly $13.5 million each month it was impassable. Over approximately 36 months, the total economic damage from lost business and tourism reached close to $500 million, translating to $30 million in lost tax revenue for local governments. Caltrans spent an estimated $162 million on emergency repairs. And everyone involved, officials, engineers, geologists and locals, acknowledged the same uncomfortable truth at the reopening: more closures are coming. The geology guarantees it. Highway 1 is a 650-mile coastal highway running along California's Pacific coast, famously connecting Los Angeles and San Francisco through the rugged, isolated cliffs of Big Sur. The Big Sur section is an isolated stretch of the state's central coast where misty, forested mountains rise directly from the ocean home to fewer than 2,000 residents. Panoramic hiking trails along high cliffs, and craggy beaches where seals and sea lions sprawl. Construction on this road began in 1919 through terrain that the engineers hired to build it described in their own reports as impossible to stabilize permanently. It took 18 years to complete, opening to motorists in 1937, with convict labour carving the road from sheer cliffs above the Pacific using hand tools and dynamite. There is a long-standing observation that Highway 1 hasn't remained fully operational from north to south for more than a year since it first opened in 1937. Mike Freed, managing partner of Passport Resorts, which owns the Post Ranch Inn, put the road's status in unmistakable terms. Highway 1 is the Eiffel Tower of California. If Highway 1 is out, the international business dries up. That comparison is not rhetorical excess. It is an economic fact. The Big Sur coast area generates an estimated $1.2 billion in tourism revenue annually, and every dollar of it depends on that road being open. When Highway 1 closes, revenue does not decrease, it drops entirely. A 75-mile stretch of the Big Sur coastline is one of the most active landslide areas in the western United States, with more than 1,500 mapped slides, according to the US Geological Survey. There is no alternate route connecting the region to the outside world. The sequence of disasters began in January 2023, when a series of powerful atmospheric rivers, storm systems, carrying concentrated corridors of water vapor from the Pacific Ocean, triggered a major landslide that buried the two-lane highway. The closure cut off the section of Highway 1 between Carmel and Cambria, with tiny Big Sur village roughly in the middle. What used to be a short drive between the southern and northern sections became an 8-hour trek inland and then back toward the seashore. The communities hit hardest were quantified precisely. San Simeon saw visitor spending drop 42%, and Big Sur saw a 20% drop, according to data from Visit California. Colin Twohig, general manager of the Big Sur River Inn, with 22 guest rooms, a large restaurant, and a general store, estimated a 20% drop in business. He described the closure arriving directly after COVID-19 restrictions as a 1-2 punch. When you have a hospitality business, you really rely on the busy season, and when there is no busy season, it can be a hard pill to swallow. Some restaurants estimated a 30% drop in business since early 2023. Zaya Hay, supervisor at Nepenthe, a well-known restaurant and bar in Big Sur, described 3 years of daily inquiries. "We are lucky enough to have business year-round, but we definitely have been struggling a bit the last 3 years." There's not a day we don't get phone calls asking about when the road is reopening, if you can drive up from the south. Just as repairs from the 2023 closure were progressing, a second major event struck. On February 9th, 2024, the Regent's Slide occurred. The slide originated approximately 450 feet above the roadway. The material it displaced buried a 6 to 8 mile segment of Highway 1 below and continued down to the beach and ocean. Separately, on March 30th, 2024, a rock slide below the highway south of the Rocky Creek Bridge left the southbound lane partially undermined and impassable. Approximately 6 feet of pavement and a portion of a retaining wall fell to the ocean about 170 feet below the road. The combination of Regent's Slide and the Rocky Creek collapsed together, prevented through travel on the Big Sur coast since January 15th, 2023. The last stretch that remained shut throughout the entire period was a 7-mile, 11-kilometre span near Lucia. By September 2025, crews had removed 300,000 cubic yards of material from Regent's Slide, with an estimated 250,000 cubic yards remaining until completion. To understand the scale of Regent's Slide specifically, the slide originated from terrain 450 feet above the roadway. Dormant and active landslides resulting from millions of years of geologic activity surrounded the repair site, posing constant threats to worker safety. The height and steepness of the slope required constant flexibility and frequent adjustments to repair strategies, because human crews could not safely work on an active slide. Caltrans, the California Department of Transportation, which is called Highway 1, the jewel of the state highway system, deployed engineering methods that had never been used in California highway repair before. The department deployed unmanned, remote-controlled bulldozers and excavators, allowing debris removal to continue without placing workers in the path of potential slide activity. Crews drilled 4,600 steel bars into the slopes in a grid pattern to patch layers of the hillside together and reduce the risk of future slides. At Regent's Slide specifically, more than 3,500 shear dowel steel bars approximately 60 feet in length were drilled and grouted into the slope in a 10-foot by 10-foot grid. In May 2025, after installing dowels into a newly active section of slope, crews stabilized the slide and prevented further activity, allowing the project to continue. Caltrans also utilized geotechnical instruments, surface measurements, and drone surveys to continuously evaluate stability, and engaged an outside professional geotechnical consulting firm given the complexity of site conditions. Caltrans District 5 Director Scott Eads stated in September 2025, "We are doing everything in our power to return this vital section of roadway to residents, businesses and travellers who have demonstrated patience and understanding during the repair effort. The total repair cost $162 million, could still rise by several million as crews finalise construction." The full reopening came on Wednesday, January 14, 2026, restoring uninterrupted travel between Carmel and Cambria for the first time since January 15, 2023. The reopening came 3 months ahead of the March 2026 completion estimate Caltrans had provided in September 2025. The Regent's Slide section officially opened on February 20th, 2026 at 4 p.m. with daytime one-way traffic control remaining in place through the following weekend as crews continued to clear the catchment area behind concrete barriers. Tohig described the day of reopening. "Today is a monumental milestone for us. We're hitting the light at the end of the tunnel after 3 long years." Ryan Lusinger, chair of the board of directors for the Big Sur Community Association, called the reopening a reunification of North and South Big Sur and stated, "This vital corridor is the gateway to California's coast and the lifeblood of the Big Sur economy, and today it's restored." He predicted, "2026 will be a really nice time to visit Big Sur." Hayat Nepenthe told reporters the day before, "We're anticipating our summer to start Jan 14th, 2026. We're excited California Assembly member Dawn Addis, whose district includes Big Sur, stated, "This turning point will help restore revenue, access to our state parks, support jobs, public safety, and economic stability for many of our residents." Caltrans director Dina El-Tawanzi acknowledged the road's global status. There are few, if any, more iconic routes, not just in California, but anywhere in the world. Restoring access for residents and tourists boosts regional economies and reinvigorates the pride and cultural identity associated with one of the most scenic and picturesque roadways on the planet. The economic accounting of the closure period, however, does not end with the celebration. Beacon Economics quantified every dimension of the damage. Christmas week alone typically delivers $80 million in tourism spending to the Central Coast. During the closure years, that revenue did not redirect or postpone it, simply did not occur. Central Coast communities that depend on Highway 1 for basic supplies received emergency provisions by helicopter at 10 times normal transportation costs. Farms isolated by collapses watched crops rot in fields with no way to move them to market. Dairy operations could not ship milk. Small hotels representing generations of family investment faced near bankruptcy, not because their buildings were damaged, but because without the road there were no guests. Stafford Nichols, economist at Beacon Economics, stated the prevention argument in direct terms. Prevention is far less expensive than the combined cost of emergency repairs and a multi-year economic shutdown. Currently, the state fixes the road after it breaks. Caltrans spent more than $160 million on emergency repairs for just the 3 recent slides in reactive mode, under dangerous conditions, with remote-controlled equipment that had to be improvised. Nichols and Beacon Economics argue the state should instead identify high-risk slopes now and proactively deploy soil nailing, rock sheds, and cable mesh attenuators, flexible, cable-based nets to stop rock slides. These require significant upfront investment, but the combined cost of emergency repairs and a multi-year $500 million economic shutdown dwarfs any prevention budget. Additional mechanisms proposed include enhanced infrastructure financing districts, typically used for urban development, but adaptable for coastal road maintenance, which would capture future growth in property tax revenue generated by the tourism economy to back infrastructure bonds. A virtual parking reservation system at high-traffic vistas like Bixby Bridge, similar to the Muir Woods system already operating in California, could raise funds for road hardening while managing the dangerous roadside congestion that currently clogs the highway. Beacon's analysis illustrates that speed is critical for economic recovery. It provides certainty that allows business owners to retain staff and gives tourists confidence to book return trips. The 3-month early completion was not merely a construction achievement. It was a meaningful economic accelerator. The geological context surrounding these events is not new and not improving. Tectonic uplift constantly fractures the mountains of the Santa Lucia Range above Big Sur, and increasingly volatile atmospheric rivers saturate unstable rock that has been geologically active for millions of years. The 1983 storms triggered major landslides, costing $50 million. The 1998 El Nino brought catastrophic failures requiring $100 million in repairs. The 2017 Mud Creek slide, at the time called a once-in-a-century event, moved 6 million cubic yards of earth, took 14 months and $54 million to rebuild, and involved just one section of road. Engineers rebuilt it and called it a triumph. The geology waited. Scientists warn that climate change intensifies every hazard that affects this roadway's stronger storms, higher seas, and more intense wildfires, making future closures more likely along the 650-mile highway. The atmospheric rivers directly responsible for both the 2023 and 2024 closures are carrying increasing quantities of moisture as Pacific Ocean surface temperatures rise. Systems that climate models once projected for 2040 are arriving in the 2020s. Rising sea levels are simultaneously eroding the base of the cliffs from below, while intensifying storms pound the coastline from the ocean side. Intense wildfires remove vegetation from hillsides. The root systems of trees and shrubs are what hold soil in place on steep slopes. Big Sur experienced major wildfire activity in 2020. The 2023 atmospheric rivers arrived with slopes already weakened from that fire damage. When fire seasons and storm seasons occur in close succession, the risk of catastrophic slide activity multiplies. Even as Big Sur celebrated its reopening in January 2026, Highway 1 remained under active management challenges at multiple other points. In Central California, one-way controlled traffic from 3 miles north to 6.3 miles north of Big Sur, operating 24 hours a day, 7 days a week through July 31st, 2026, due to maintenance. In Northern California, one-way controlled traffic in Mendocino County due to a rock slide with delays of up to 10 minutes. Emergency repairs at Westport, operating through December 31st, 2026. Construction at One Creek Bridge running through August 3rd, 2026. Highway 1 is never fully at rest. At any given moment, some section of the 650-mile route is under repair, monitoring, or closure. The Regent Slide area post-reopening illustrated the same reality. Even after the February 20th, 2026 opening, travellers encountered daytime, one-way traffic control as crews continued clearing the catchment area. Caltrans will continue utilising geotechnical instruments, drone surveys and surface measurements at the Regent Slide area indefinitely because the geology that produced the slide has not changed. The engineering improved the stability. The underlying forces remain. The engineers who built Highway 1 described the terrain in their own reports as impossible to stabilise permanently, yet California celebrated the opening in 1937 as a triumph and has been defending that triumph against geology ever since. The cost accounting of the current era is exact: $162 million in emergency repairs. An estimated $500 million in lost economic activity, $30 million in lost tax revenue. 36 months of isolation for a community of fewer than 2,000 people. All from a geological reality that everyone who has studied the Santa Lucia Mountains knew was inevitable. Beacon Economics stated it without ambiguity. It is certain that the geological hazards to Highway 1 will continue. City and county governments lost $10 million in tax revenue per year from the last closure. Spending part of that on preventative solutions to keep the road open would be a net positive. The road is open. The geology has not changed. The atmospheric rivers are still building over the Pacific. Hay of Nepenthe, asked about future closures on the day of the reopening, gave the most accurate summary available. She said she will do what she can to ward off the next closure. She will be knocking on wood. That is not pessimism. That is the lived experience of Big Sur, a community built on a road that was never, by the assessment of the engineers who built it, meant to be permanent, and that California has spent nearly a century refusing to let go.